And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright. Fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us. Breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride. Talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes! 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 Woo! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
Bring it, Eric.
All right, welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live here. Day 2 winter meetings in the bag, so to speak. Hey, maybe something breaks late night. We'll see. You never know. It is the winter meetings, and sometimes stuff will break somewhat late. But as far as the Giants are concerned, the only thing that came out today that we could talk about for the Giants, we'll do it a little bit later, is after we talk about who was actually involved in moves. The Giants were able to get the number 4 pick for the amateur draft, which is awesome, man. The Giants are within the top 5. That means they should be able to go out there and get a legitimate a college guy. If they want to go college, they could go college, because a lot of these college guys, they're ready to go right after they get out of college. Or you could get one of the best high school guys out there in the amateur draft. And look, it's awesome for the simple fact Giants got Joe Schwarber that they got from the international draft last year. They're going to get Luis Hernandez in their international draft this year. And now you got the number 4 pick. So the Giants are looking good right now. You know, the potential is there for them to do something special down the road. But the big news today, two big moves. One of them, you kind of saw that one coming. Kyle Schwarber goes back to Philadelphia. 5 years, $150 million, $30 million a year. There you go. And then one that affects us as Giants fans, and I know Dodgers are happy. Listen to this, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. Glenn brought this up. Glenn Kuiper brought this up on his show. Here we go. You got the Dodgers signed Edwin Diaz, 3 years, $69 million. If I'm not mistaken, 4.5 of it is deferred over to 3. But it comes out to an annual average of 23. Again, that's not counting the deferrals. $23 million a year for a closer. And this is after last year they signed Tanner Scott to 4 years and 90. They're spending $140 million on 2 closers. I mean, it just tells you the strength, the financial strength that the Dodgers have. And look, and we'll get into this, Glenn. Hey, another team could be in that same boat, and maybe that would be the Toronto Blue Jays. They have yet to sign a position player. Bo Bichette still out there. I mean, what'd you think of the signings today of Schwarber and Diaz?
Fantastic for those organizations, but what does that do for the San Francisco Giants, Eric? I mean, I watched. Remember the spring? We saw or I guess it was not the spring. Last year when we saw the introductory press conference and the heralded Buster Posey to the rescue. And, we're not going to play second fiddle to anybody. We're going to cut checks. All I'm hearing is chatter, not checks, chatter, Eric. And, play second fiddle to no one. How about the Giants, taking a hammer, smashing this thing up and build a good ball club, Eric? I'm tired of their prudency. That's the word I use in the green room. Their prudency, always looking for the deal, Eric. You know what? The teams are getting it done now. And there's people out there who've been, I watched other channels today, and it's, oh my God, don't worry if it's even 2026, the spring around, there'll still be, the problem is there'll be players available, Eric, but there'll still be the Wilmer Flores out there you could bring back. There'll be those fringe players, the guys who are going to be leverage players in organizations are talking turkey with teams this week, and I'm sure into December. And the question I continually have is, are the San Francisco Giants ready, or are they even willing to deal for quality, Eric? Because as I said to you in the green room, I couldn't sum it up any better today. I said to you, and I said, I think Lou had just pumped in, I said, if the Giants continue to take this approach, if you can't play off field, how are you going to play on field, Eric? How are they going to compete? You can't compete with these other teams signing. So how are you going to compete against the teams on the field? And I'm just getting tired of it, Eric. It's a persona in the Bay Area. What bought into this? Because am I the only guy who's pissed off that?
Well, look, the Schwarber one, I'm not so concerned about. It's the Edwin Diaz one, because what did the Dodgers just do? They just shortened the game by 1 inning. They got their closer, and that's something that they were lacking last year because Tanner Scott shit the bed. So now they just went out there and spent more money on another guy who's probably going to be better.
Why didn't we? We don't even have a close. We don't have a close here.
I don't know.
Where's our checkbook? Did you drop it somewhere?
Well, I hear you, but what does that? How do you feel about the Dodgers making that move? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Are you concerned? Let's say that. Does it make you a little bit more nervous when the Giants have to face the Dodgers 13 to 14 times next year?
Oh, absolutely. But it should start. You know what? The poverty starts at home, Eric. Again, I go back to, how are we going to compete with these teams if we can't put together a lineup and we're not cutting checks? I mean, teams that want to play into October, the Dodgers, the primest of examples, Eric, they don't wait around to see what the market has. Let's see how this thing plays out and how it settles. They are the market. And we're the guys, we're just those little chihuahuas. Well, the pit bulls are at the plate, they're at their bowl, and they're chomping down on talent, Eric. We're those little chihuahuas just nipping at heels. And even if we are in on a good player, we're only in on it as the Dodgers offer $2 million. Okay, we'll offer you $2 million. Yeah, come on. It's not our money to spend, Eric, but being a Giant fan, I had my hopes up. I don't know about Lou. I'm sure he does as well. Having sat down there in those great seats, watching Giants baseball, scratching his temple every day, yelling at ownership. And, I don't know if there was truth to being escorted out of the ballpark or anything, but getting the fans riled up and the players riled up. And talking turkey post Thanksgiving, Eric, talk turkey. This team is not, as it appears now, ready to commit to talent and spend money.
We don't know yet. Here's the thing. We'll get into that. PJ says, Eric, why are you mad at the Dodgers and not the Giants ownership? I didn't. First off, I am not mad. Depressed is probably a better word, because our ownership, talking about the Giants, they look, and maybe it's apples and oranges. Maybe it is. I don't know. I mean, the Guggenheims, they got a shit ton of money, just like the Rogers over in Toronto. They got a shit ton of money. They're starting to open up the coffers. But could the Giants go out there and do they have to spin like the Dodgers? They don't have to. They don't have to spin to the Dodgers to put together a good team to answer that question. So, no, I'm not mad. Depressed. Disappointed.
When do you say that, Eric? The Dodgers, usually the Yankees and the Mets for that matter. And look at what the Blue Jays are doing. Why are the Blue Jays coming off a World Series and they're going to be even better next year? Because they're spending. You can't build a team, Eric, without spending money. That is just the age we live in. And if you want to play hardball with these players and try to negotiate. I call it bad faith when you're talking against all these other teams offering players. If I offer Lou to come to my sandlot team in San Francisco, a team that never makes the playoffs, and I offer him $1 million, and I say, listen, we'll give you $1 million. Come play for the Yankees. I mean, what do you think he's going to do? We talked about it today, I believe. We talked about it off the air, about guys like Schwarber. I mean, a guy like Schwarber, he loves Philadelphia. He wants to win. So why not just, and he did. Why not just sign there? Well, you get these guys. Why would anybody want to come to San Francisco, a team that shows over and over that they're not competitive?
And I'll tell you what, I'm not worried about the Schwarber one. He was going to go probably back to Philadelphia. Really? Come on. The guy loves it there. He's hitting a shit ton of bombs, and they gave him a 5-year deal, 150. Look, Baltimore offered him the same deal, and he said no to Baltimore. Cincinnati, they offered him a little bit less. But again, Lou, before I get to you,
I want one of these.
Again, this is from Ken Rosenthal. Free agent reliever Kyle Finnegan. I think he had a decent year for Washington, closing in on an agreement with the Detroit Tigers.
I always liked him going back to KC. I really like him, Eric.
There you go. So there you go. Just a little bit of news right now coming from Ken Rosenthal. All right, Lou.
Before we get to Lou, I gotta warn Eric and Lou here tonight, the faithful co-hosts of this show. We're like the three. Sometimes our takes are probably like the three blind mice on most evenings. But listen, Eric, rough day for me. You think I was cranky last night? I go to the supermarket, groceries. You know that word? I was over getting groceries today. I go to the supermarket. All they had was Coke. So I'm not in the best frame of mood tonight.
Oh, hell.
Not in a good mood.
All right, Lou. The
Good to see you, Lou.
two moves. Schwarber to Philly, Diaz to the Dodgers.
The teams that we want to be had good days today. Schwarber comes back. I'm sort of surprised 5 years, just because that team in 2 years is going to be just too old. They're doing it for the next 2 years. They got to compete because they're getting old. They might lose their catcher. As you know, their star player was sort of frustrated the way it ended last year. So I'm not really worried about Philly. Now, with the Dodgers, you guys got to remember, if you forget about 2 years ago when Diaz got injured, he was the best reliever possible. He's way above Suarez. Okay. He's top. And if you remember the Dodgers, during the playoffs, they didn't need one of their starters who became their closer, sort of by necessity. The Dodgers go back to a six-man rotation. Now they have their stopper. Okay. I think this makes them 5-6 more wins better than last year. And then some people in the chat were saying, oh, well, the Dodgers got to do it 162. Dodgers don't care. Dodgers just they know, you guys got to remember, they know it doesn't matter where they are, but as long as they win the division, they're fine. Only if they're a wild card, they really got to sweat because, if you remember last year, how exciting it was, especially where you guys were nice enough to let me be on the show, best out of 3, best out of 5, and then it goes to 7. They just need to make it. The thing about the Dodgers, and I know Glenn brings this up, they want a three-peat, okay? Because if they three-peat, guess what happens? They don't need to hear 3 and 5 years anymore, okay?
Right.
Three-peat, if you remember, has only been done 2 other times. The other thing is, it goes back when the Giants could have gotten Ohtani and people thought it was too expensive. Just the merchandise itself for Ohtani has actually led to them having so much money. Now, I know they have their contract, but remember, Ohtani's the most popular player. Every game in Tokyo is on live. They have more sponsorship than you've ever seen. They've also won the World Series twice. The merch has gotten out of control. What do? They probably have a list of 5 things. Hey, D is available. Let's get him. And it sews up so many other problems. One of the things we talked about the Giants is either they have a problem offensively or they have a problem with their pitching. The Dodgers took care of one big thing, and now they can worry about the rest. I'm very frustrated because I thought Diaz, when he was healthy, that guy, and you think it's bad. You thought it was bad a couple of years ago with the trumpet player. My God, he's going to L.A. where it's going to be.
He's going to have a mariachi band. That's what it's going to be. Yeah. It's going to be mariachis.
So it's going to drive Giants fans crazy. And, the thing, too, is they have the money. The Giants have the money. As I spoke with Eric, I sent him a thing. we're only spending like 42% of what the Giants made profit-wise.
Correct.
So, unfortunately, somebody in the chat said we should be upset at the ownership. The Giants got their big break on Sunday when a former player became a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
They're going to use that all next year. They're going to try to bring it back. Everything's going to be. They also now have 2 more giveaways they can do. A Hall of Fame, or now on the wall. I mean, the Wall of Fame. I don't even know. Is he even on the Wall of Fame, Jeff Kent? The more I think about it,
I don't even know if he's on the wall. He's got a statue.
Yeah, they got their one present for the year. Now, being a fan, we need to know what the hell's going on. The other thing is with Scott. I know he had a bad year last year, but now he has a whole off season to improve. And let me tell you something. It's a lot easier to close the 8th inning, as Eric points out, when you have Diaz in the 9th.
Yeah.
So instead of going now and this is what, if the roles were reversed and it was the Giants, it'd be great, because the Giants only have guys that go 5 innings, and we're hoping for 5 and 6. And then they need someone to fill the 7th, then you go 8, 9, boom. Sort of like how the Kansas City Royals were maybe
back in 2014.
10 years ago when we played them in 2014, right?
Yeah, they had the 3-headed monster.
Sort of how the Reds did, the 3-headed monster with the Reds had. So the thing about the Giants is we still have a lot of holes. But I gave Eric my word. I'm not going to be totally negative until the 15th, because the meetings aren't over. Today, there wasn't a little movement. I just get upset where the Giants say, hey, they don't want to spend money. But there's a lot of relievers that are leaving that are cheap. Guys like Tampa Bay are signing guys, $7 million. I'm sorry, but the Giants should be able to get guys, because our bullpen right now, we don't really have one. We don't have a 6-inning guy. We don't have a 7th. We don't have a stopper. That's where you got to get these guys. Even if it's a 1-year deal for $7 million, at least you fill a spot and a role. And I think that was one of the biggest problems last year, is once we got rid of our 8th and 9th guys, nobody knew their roles. You got to start fixing some of these holes in the roles, or we're not going to be competitive. But like I said, I'm going to wait until Monday. It's only been really 2 days of excitement. I mean, again, that's the one great thing. We just saw today, we went on, and 2 minutes into our show, we had a breaking news. So hopefully something can cheer us up. Oh, there you go.
Now it's final. It is final. Kyle Finnegan and the Tigers have a deal. 2 years. Reported by Robert Murray and Ken Rosenthal, who was first. So we'll get the details on what the money was about here shortly. So there you go. Tigers got a closer. So there you go.
I don't care. I want a closer. Oh, by the way, Lou,
and
the
who's
Wall
left?
of Fame, Lou brought up, he said, is Jeff Kent even on the Wall of Fame? No, he is not, but Jeremy Affelt's on it, and Sergio Castilla, and Javi Lopez, and Romo, and I mean, one of the prized possessions of our franchise history. Jeff Kent not even on there.
Well, he's getting a statue, so he's going to be taken care of. He doesn't need no stupid plaque.
But why?
He's getting the real statue.
With everything the Giants do,
real
patting themselves on the back all the time and having these special. I said to Lou the other day, I said, here's another day with the folding white lawn chairs out on the infield to have a Sunday afternoon, a little ceremony for Jeff Kent. I mean, why do they do that? The fact Jeff Kent wasn't on the Wall of Fame to begin with. We're not talking Hall of Fame or statues. Wasn't even on the Wall of Fame. And now, of course, they'll spin this. Oh, he's going to the Wall of Fame with a statue, and it's all in conjunction with his Hall of Fame ceremony. And I agree with Lou. This is an opportunity for them to go, this is something the Giants like to do. Relive the past and sell merch.
This may not be the only Hall of Famer that the Giants will have next summer, because tomorrow morning, Glenn Kuiper had let us know, Dwayne will find out whether or not he will receive the Ford C. Frick Award. So that should be interesting. We'll find that out tomorrow. So may have 2 Giants in the Hall of Fame next summer. And then the following summer, we may have 3 with Posey, Bochy, and Baker. Man, I tell
Time to
you.
hear from Eric. I want to hear from this guy over here. Eric, so my favorite term in the offseason lately has been last dog at the bowl. Do you worry when you see the closers start to fall off the board? And then the pieces we need, don't you feel the less available players means we're not going to get one of the best?
Real quick before I answer, it's a 2-year deal, $19 million for Kyle Finnegan. $8 million a year is what it comes out to for Kyle Finnegan to the Detroit Tigers.
So what are we doing?
Good question. Good question. And look, I don't know what they are doing with the closer. I don't. Do we know anything, to be honest with you? None of us know nothing. That's the best way to say it. We could all come out here and pontificate and speculate, guesstimate, you name it, and we could do all of the above. Right now, I am not concerned because we're talking about Kyle Schwarber. Would it have been nice to have him? Sure. But come on, Philadelphia seemed like the right place. So I'm not too worried about that one. The Giants right now, what have they been saying all along? What have the Giants been saying? Pitching. That has been the key. How is they going to get said pitching?
For a team that's saying that, Eric, why do we not have pitching? Okay, pitching's the key, but we don't have any. We don't have a closer. We don't have a starting staff.
How many starting pitchers have signed?
In my opinion, we shouldn't even have to go out and have to fill all these positions. I mean, if you had a quality ball club, Lou, we wouldn't have to be filling in all these holes.
No, you're on to something. Don't get me wrong. It would be awesome to do it within, but right now, that's just not what it is. So what are the Giants going to do? Are they going to get Framber? Are they going to get Ranger? Are they going to trade for a starting pitcher? We'll find out. If it's going to be Zach Gallen or Michael King or Wade Miley. Oh, not Wade Miley. What am I thinking?
Hey, Eric,
Why
are you thinking? Do you think maybe people in the chat and people like me and Glenn are upset because of who is signing people? Detroit Tigers, Tampa Bay, Pittsburgh Pirates signed a left-hand reliever. And
they got Giovanni Soto. No, is it Giovanni Soto?
Soto, Gregory Soto, right? But $7 million, $9 million. That's the going rate. If you remember last year at the trade deadline, the relievers were the big thing going out. That was the hot thing. Relievers were flying out. We traded 2 of our relievers. It was so hot. Everyone's looking for pitching, but here it is. When teams like Pittsburgh are getting relievers, that we should. Tampa Bay, the Tigers. I think that's what upsets people more. These are low-end teams. We're the San Francisco Giants. I'm just saying, I think that's what sort of frustrates the fans because, wait a minute. It's only $7 million. It's only $9 million. Okay? That's not much for a solid reliever. And you just mentioned a closer at $9 million each. My God. What? I thought we have money. You mean we're trying to tell me we can't sign a closer for $9 million a year?
I want to look up his numbers.
No, we can talk about it, Lou.
I just think that's what sort of frustrates people. We have holes and other teams are taking what we need. And I think that's what upsets people. So
yep. Okay. So last year, Finnegan in 2025 had an ERA of 1.5, but he only had 18 innings pitched. So he was coming off of injury. So you read that one. That's just not enough there. In 20 or wait, hold on. Never mind. I take that back. Take it back. Scratch that. He had what is that? 57 innings. I see that he's got because he got traded to Detroit. So let me take that back. Rewind this. I'm looking at just Detroit. 3.47 ERA, 24 saves, 57 innings pitched, 55 strikeouts in those 57 innings. Gave up 4 home runs. Let me see how many blown saves. Let me see. Did they even show that? I don't think they show that. ERA plus was 120, which is good. You want to be above 100. But yeah, decent, right? Decent. And then look, for the price, we're talking $8 million a year. That would have been okay.
I mean, my guy, he's got San Francisco Giants written all over him.
He does. He does. I don't look. What are they doing? I don't know. And I don't know. I don't.
See, he's a Prince
Honestly,
player I would like.
it's tough. It's tough, man, because you want to see the Giants go out there and put together. And look, the closer. Look, arguably, the closer was probably going to be the second in the hierarchy, right? Number one being starting pitching, number two a closer, and then a bat. And we haven't done anything with anybody yet. But again, it's still in its infancy. Marty said on the show, hey, usually history shows that, as far as free agents, usually goes until the end of December. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we had 2 today. It's going to be interesting to see where guys like Kyle Tucker, Bichette, I haven't heard any news on Bichette. I think I saw something about him maybe talking to the Boston Red Sox.
Baltimore Orioles and Baltimore. I think Baltimore is going after a couple of these big guys.
Glenn said the same thing. He thinks that Baltimore is going to be a team that's going to be in the thick of things.
I can't speak for Lou. Look at Limbo. He says, "Watch us sign someone big." Glenn and Lou going to look stupid. I can't speak for Lou, but I am not saying that they won't. I am tired of just being fed the line that we're always in and we're always we're going. And this is going to. Remember last year, Eric, Buster Posey. It's going to be a huge off year. We got Adames. What else do we do?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, somebody texted me today. The Willie Adames deal, Eric, I think Adames came in, got his bag, the highest paid Giant. There wasn't a big market for shortstops last year.
No, they got the best shortstop, which was probably one of the only ones.
So you have to factor in how many teams are looking for closers, how many teams are looking for shortstops, how many. It's not just that you go out and you get a deal or you sign a big player. You got to fill your own needs. So don't talk to me. Oh, I get a text. Pete Alonso. You might now, if the Mets don't want him, you can get. We don't need him. We got 2 now that can play first base, and that already seems to be causing a little bit of a problem because it's 1 too many. So you got to factor in who we need, and if you can get a player, you want to go cheap. I don't even like that word. Ooh, if you want to be frugal. Make sure you get a quality player, but it meets your needs. And right now, Eric, we could sign a big player. I hope we do. But all I have been fed, I'm being spoon-fed, nothing but promises, maybes, could be's, and what
to
ifs.
be honest with you, it really hasn't, though, because Greg Johnson came out. He laid it out there. Everyone hated it. We are not going to sign a long-term contract for a starting pitcher or get into the $100 million range. He said it. So everyone already understood. It was only yesterday where it was reported by reporters, right, saying the Giants are in on all these arms. So look, until all we have are these reports. And if we hang on everything, and look, everyone does it, right? Everyone's got the phone sitting right next to them for constantly refreshing Twitter to find out what the hell's going on. Nobody knows. Even reporters, to a certain extent, don't know. Oh, they're just gonna. Hey, they got content that they got deadlines they gotta meet. Hey, what's the story? Come on, what's going on? So, I mean, we just gonna have to wait until look. If we start seeing Framber and Ranger going off the boards, if we're seeing starting pitchers being traded, if we're seeing bats starting to be traded or signed, and the Giants aren't part of it, that's when the pucker factor will start increasing, and that's the last thing we want. Look, and here's the thing, right? Buster Posey, in his very young position as president, has a panache to go out there and get some big deals done. So until that happens or doesn't happen, then we could come on here and either lambaste them, praise them, or be like, all right, we'll see what happens.
I attribute it. I always like to bring Lou Marston into my private conversations with people. We're talking baseball. I said, it's okay. If you want to hang out with a guy, and he says, yeah, let's, what are you doing after your lunch break at noon? Let's go have a cup of coffee. Lou Marsden is like the Dodgers. He says, let's go have filet mignon. That's the kind of guy you want to deal with.
I saw that damn photo.
Again,
damn it.
all I'm seeing
I
is
saw that damn photo.
promises.
I
Promises.
saw that photo of House of Pam Rib. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, the end cut.
Not tonight, Armand. We're only gonna go for another 30 minutes, and if we bring another guy in,
Eric and Glenn, here's the big problem. People are frustrated because it's the Dodgers that made the move, not that Diaz signed. The other thing is in Northern California, it's so goddamn cold in the mornings. It's so goddamn cold at night. And nobody's gotten any free samples for the holidays from Bake That Dough from Aaron.
Oh,
People
seriously?
are frustrated. So I'm just letting you know, Aaron, I know you're out there. Please help us out. Okay.
well, I tell you what. I'll tell you what.
A
I've been in
few
Winnipeg.
of those cookies will help us.
We could cut him a little slack. He was in a hospital. He had an emergency appendectomy. His
I did
appendix
not
was
know
all
that.
fucked
I'm
up.
sorry.
Yeah. He's good to go
Hopefully
though.
He's doing well.
Yeah, he's doing
All right.
good. He's doing good. Look at TBD, man. You want to talk about a low blow, man? Woo! The Giants have conversations. The Dodgers have signatures.
It's true. I mean, no,
Hey,
that's well
what can
said.
And Eric,
What can I say?
Eric,
what can I say?
the thing that the Dodgers have done is they made LA a destination and an identity. You want to be the best? Here's your opportunity. Right now with the Giants, it's still stagnant. I know Glenn used one of our colleagues' things, pick a lane. The Giants right now, really, when you think about it, are still saying we have a great ballpark for pitchers. We have a pitcher's ballpark. But it's not like pitchers are lining up saying, oh, my God, I want to pitch there. And I think we got to bring back the identity. It sort of reminds me of Roger Craig when everyone complained about Candlestick. Well, let's use Candlestick to our advantage. And I think that's what the ownership and Buster, they have to do. They got to make Oracle Park, the park that dreams are made of, where pitchers can go there and have unbelievable years. And you got to remember, a lot of people think the ballpark isn't friendly to the batters. But I remember last year, other teams hitting 3 homers in a game like it was nothing. So we just got to get guys that are going to fit the ballpark and really stop with the excuses. I don't want to hear about 3 and 5 no more. All right. It's over 10 years ago. Okay. We need new stuff. And
All
I
right.
think the one thing too, and by the way, don't listen to Susan or Slusser. She's paid by the Giants. She's too much of a homer. So I just wanted to, Aaron, good to see you. And I hope you're feeling better. Go ahead, Eric.
All right. I got something to share. This is big.
Okay. Oh, it's big?
This is big. It's not there's nothing.
No air raids or nothing?
There's no pin to no, I'm not going to air raid siren it yet because there's no pin to paper. But remember that guy we talked about yesterday, Pingalore, the guy from KTLA?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Again, this is David Pingalore. Let's look at him. KTLA sports anchor. Okay. Followed by 12,000, almost 13,000 people.
Okay.
Tariq Skubal update. I'm hearing that the Skubal deal is essentially in place. The pieces are agreed to. The framework is done. What's holding it up now is the long-term extension and ownership approval in Detroit. The Tigers will not greenlight it without the owners sign off, and the Dodgers won't ship out that kind of haul without a long-term commitment from Skubal. That's the final hurdle.
And that's the final nail in the freaking coffin, Eric.
The thing
It just gets worse and worse.
I tell you,
Right
this
on
is what I was afraid of. I talked about it last night. This is what I was afraid of, and I'm telling you. He's saying this is bullshit. He's basically TMZ. Are you sure? He says he's a KTLA sports anchor. Usually those guys are right. Am I right or wrong? You guys got to tell me. You guys, where's my Dodger fans? Where's my Dodger fans? I need to know what is the credibility of David Pingalore. Because if this has any iota of truth, man, this is bad. This is bad.
Unless you're a Dodger fan, maybe we got to trade in our toques, Eric. Maybe we need a new lid.
And then what would be interesting to see is what they're giving up. Remember, last night we were talking about Webb and just Eldridge. They're probably giving up maybe you know what? They might be, since they signed Diaz, they don't need their other closer. He might be part of the deal. Another, Tyler is probably another starting pitching's going, and then they have a farm system. They're probably giving up probably 5 or 6 guys to get someone. Because remember,
I'm a warm up.
Once in a generation.
Johnny, he's a Dodger fan. He says he's legit.
Yeah.
Of course he would. I'm going to get Eric a tea cozy so you can just have teas, some nice teas, put some honey in there. It's good for the throat during the show. He doesn't have to run off and warm up the coffee. And Lou, you and I could continue the conversation, but you know what I forgot last night, Eric? Lou? Do you know what I forgot last night? Guess what I forgot last night?
Sponsors.
Giant Sports Talk Live, brought to you by Lefties in Burlingame. Visit Lefties for all of your Giants collecting needs. By GenesisGoldIRA.com, Signatures for Soldiers. Duxwell Printing, for all of your printing needs in the Bay Area. Visit Duxwell Printing at 37 Wentworth Place in San Francisco. And by BetterCreditCards.com. For the best credit card choice for you, visit BetterCreditCards.com. Covering the San Francisco Giants nightly online. We are Giant Sports Talk Live. Now, back to Eric and Glenn.
Well, how about Lou and Glenn for now? Yeah, Lou, the rich get richer. This is
again the Dodgers. Yep, and you know what? What's sort of funny is, remember, they now have not 1, not 2. But 3, and I would say 3 complete studs. So now they're set for the playoffs.
This is just seriously. I mean, if you think about this rotation, Skubal, Shohei, Snell, Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki.
But do you notice a trend, Eric? Do you notice a trend this offseason? We talked about the Giants going out and filling these holes, and I don't want to be the last dog at the bowl, but the real players, the Dodgers have 2 holes, 2 things they need to address. They go out and they do it, Eric. There's no messing around. They've already they needed a closer. That was an outsider looking in. They needed a closer. And what do? They went out and got one of the best closers in the market. Right there, done. Okay, that's out of the way. And we continue to fiddle. It's like, like a nervous lawyer. He's dropping his papers out. Your Honor, it leaves my head spinning, this organization, Eric. And I worry, Eric, when you say you're not worried. Because
they get Skubal. They don't. At that point, I'm just like, okay, whatever.
We had a team that didn't make the playoffs last year. I'm worried every day. I'm worried.
It's just it. Look, does it mean that it's totally impossible? No, I'm not saying that. But my God, I mean, you want to talk about a dream team? I mean, that's just, my God, Glenn.
This is like
we could build a dream team. We're not willing to, Eric.
It's like the Yankees of the 70s.
Yep, because they went out, they wanted it, and they did it. And we're just, Eric, we're just. I think ownership's happy to just get enough to bring them through the turnstiles. As long as we make our coin. What happened to winning? They're going to be winners, Eric.
Rosemont says this is not true. I'm from LA. So I got one Dodger fan said the guy's legit. And I got Rosemont who says the guy maybe not so much.
I think the one says not so much is the one who, even if he's a Dodger fan, you got to live in reality. If it's Skubal's available and they're talking, deal might be going down, I'm believing it. If it's the Dodgers and Eric, I believe it. If that was Pittsburgh or Cincinnati or anybody else for that matter, Giants even, but when it's the Dodgers, you got to believe, Eric. You got to have that sinking feeling. At least our ratings will go up next year, Eric. All the Dodgers fans will be chiming in, watching us suffer again.
Oh my God! Could you imagine?
When we suffer, our rating isn't that a bad thing. When we lose, Eric, Dodgers fans boost our ratings.
I'm gonna have to bring this up. Remember this?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Look, if that goes down, I'm going up in flames, man. No.
I want to know. Okay, see, at least the guy is a television reporter and a news anchor in LA. So when you get guys who could, Mr. Postman, what are your sources? See, people come in and it's not true. It's just a rumor. What are your
I
sources?
don't know. Honestly, I'm just, hey, the guy's on Twitter. He says he's KTLA Sports. I don't know. Honestly, that's why I'm asking. That's why I'm asking Dodger fans. Is
He's
this guy legit? Is it legit, or is he?
He's legit. But I want to know when people come in. It's Eric in capitals. It's not true. Postman, what are your sources? If you're going to bring it to the table, give me a source. Talk to me.
Okay,
I want to know.
And here's a good point. And this may be a good thing. Detroit ownership may say, "To hell with you, LA. We don't want to do it." Right? That's possible.
Why would they not want to deal with LA?
Because they don't want to see them to become an absolute freaking juggernaut.
Eric, that's Anthony. Sorry,
No.
that is absolutely ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And I think maybe that's a problem with the Dodgers. Don't worry about what the other teams are doing. Worry about yourself. They're not sitting in Detroit saying, "Oh, we can't trade him to the we can't trade him to the Dodgers." It's what we get. I don't care what you can have Scooble, but what am I getting? Right, Lou? You can't worry about the other team. You can't worry about the Dodgers. You want them?
I know why. Because
I get it.
Because it could, and who knows? Here's another thing. If I'm not mistaken, Anonymous, I see you out there. Yeah, because I know that you talked to some people. He says he's not hearing he texted a friend of his. He says he hasn't heard anything about it. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened, but we'll see. Here's something I want to know. If I'm not mistaken, every trade has to be approved by the league. And the league could actually step in and say, "Oh, hell no," because of what the Dodgers are doing, especially if there's a contract involved and there's a lot of deferred money. If that's right, I could see them maybe putting the kibosh on it. Maybe. I don't know.
Why, Eric? See, I don't buy into that.
Because the MLB could do that. They got the final say.
Why not?
They got the final say.
They did it with Shohei. Why not?
That's why. Because of the Shohei effect. And I think that's why they would do it. That's why they would do it.
Why?
Because
if I'm running the team and I go, this is going to be the structure of the contract. Major League Baseball tell me I'm not allowed to negotiate the contract in good faith with my client?
All trades have to go through the MLB office. All of them. They have to be signed off.
Yeah, but I don't believe. You know what? You know what, Eric? Not to throw you under the bus.
I think they do.
But you know the people are, you know what? Everybody's cranky. Everybody's cranky because the Dodgers did it first. The Dodgers are smarter than everybody else, Eric. Dodgers it's time everybody admits the Dodgers are up here and everybody else is down here.
And now, yes, they took advantage of the deferral. But here's the thing. That's
why they didn't take advantage of it. It wasn't like sneaky. They did it.
No, but here's the problem. That's why it's going to be a bugaboo in 2027. That's why I think the deferrals are going to go bye-bye to a certain extent. I think some of them will be there, but they're going to have to do that because of what the Dodgers did. It was too much, right? You ever heard of it? You heard the term, right? Too much of a good thing. Oh, that's what the Dodgers have done. And to an extent, what has it done? It's to an extent, I don't like to use this term. It's ruined baseball to an extent. Now, granted, they worked within the parameters of the law. I'm not saying that they didn't.
Right.
But the problem is, you see everyone else, kind of going by the wayside, and you got the Dodgers who are just absolutely incredible. So,
and who's to blame? Eric. It's ownership of the Major League Baseball teams. They're to blame. Oh my God. Barry Bonds has just signed $1 million deal. That was big news, Eric. Now that would make the back page of the obituaries. It'd be who cares? $1 million?
Yes.
Nobody makes $1 million anymore. I think minimum wage is more than $1 million.
That's right. I forgot all about that. Thank you. I thought so. I remember reading it I don't have it, in Ned Colletti's book, The Big Chair. He talked about, he was concerned when they did the trade for Manny Ramirez. He was afraid if I got it right. I think I do.
Yeah.
How about that?
No, it wasn't an A-Rod for the Boston guy that wound up being a
Garcia
Dodger.
Parra.
Yeah.
Well, what happened was, first off, Ned talked about it in his book. If I'm not mistaken, he was worried that with trading for Manny, that the league was going to nix it, but they didn't. I think I could be wrong. But yes, this episode. Did you watch the Boston Red Sox documentary on Netflix? They talk about this.
I saw on
it was
ESPN.
fantastic.
They talked about it.
Oh, it was fantastic. So yes, the league did nix that one. Forgot all about that. Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate that. So again, we'll see. We don't know yet. Let's see what happens.
Eric, the San Francisco Giants easily could have went out. They could have given $1 billion to Shohei Ohtani and paid off that contract middle of this year, but anyway, they didn't.
Let's be real. Okay, Jason, let's have some real talk. It says, quite quick crying, the Dodgers are ruining baseball. All the other teams could use the same rules to their advantage, and the Dodgers use theirs. Yell at your owners for being cheap. Well, there's a difference though, right? Jason, are you telling me that the Guggenheim group doesn't have a shit ton of money? More, we'll say, hey, you want to compare them to the Mets and Uncle Steve over there? Guggenheim just dwarfs what freaking Steve Cohen can do. That's the problem. They have the financial fortitude to do this because they make so much money. And look, credit to them. They're a huge success. Okay, that's fine. But the Dodgers, because of who their owners are, have a leg up on other clubs. They just do. Now, no, and I don't, like I said, I don't like to use the term of ruining baseball, but that's kind of what's going on. And that's why everybody is up in arms. That's why you got people talking about salary caps. And you know that ain't going to happen. But you know, that's why this labor dispute in 2027 is going to be it's going to be funky. And the last thing they could do, the last thing you do, if the season gets the kibosh, it's going to ruin baseball. 1994, remember when they had the strike? Damn near ruined baseball. Baseball damn near was going to be gone. And you know what brought it back? What brought it back? Steroids.
Right.
Steroids. But guess what? If there's a strike and it kills the season in 27, there's no steroids to back it up to fall back on. So it could be a mess. I hope it doesn't. I really don't. I hope it doesn't.
Eric, don't forget who owns the San Francisco Giants, though. You want to talk about money? Why aren't we spending it, Eric?
Oh, look, Franklin Templeton's nowhere near what Guggenheim's worth.
It's a hell of a lot richer than the three of us put together.
It is. Don't get me wrong. And like I said, could the Giants go spend money? Sure, they could. Does it mean they got to spin up to the Dodgers? No. But you still could spend more and put together a pretty damn good team. You could.
Okay, Eric, then I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
Give Buster a call. Tell him I'm Eric Romo from Giant Sports Talk Live, and I want to see you spend some money and get at least a quality team.
No relation of Sergio, but yeah, he's got money.
I don't even like that. I don't even, when you think of it, Eric, you're like, we do have to compete with the Dodgers.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in our own division. And every team in baseball has to compete with the Dodgers. Now we've got to compete with the Dodgers, the Cubs, the Mets, the Blue Jays. If you don't continue to work hard at your craft, the world is going to pass them by, Eric. We're going to be the Colorado Rockies of Major League Baseball if you don't get your head out of the sand and get the job done. Buster has, I hear a lot of promises. I want to see some action. Lou?
There's nothing we can do about it. So what we have to do is adapt to what the Giants can do.
You know what we do? You put the wallet back in the pocket. You say, I'm going to go to the WNBA game, or I'm going to go to the movie, or I'm going to go over to Daly City for a shopping experience. If you continue to buy their product, this is what you'll get.
Here we go. Guggenheim Partners, a global investment firm, manages over $350 billion in total assets. That's what they manage.
Yeah, well, they
financial player led by CEO Mark Walter, who owns the LA Dodgers. Current consistently reports about $350 billion to over $357 billion in its investments.
Lou, you spend as much time as I do around. Well, I practically live at the ballpark. Lou, you're in town. Eric, you come down from time to time.
Yeah.
Are you telling me the San Francisco Giants really? I talk about working at your craft. You could break this down even deeper, Eric. And I brought it up on the show before. As a guy who lives like 2 blocks away in China Basin, you can basically walk down the street and look. There's the ballpark. There's no restaurants. Mission Rock? What do they do there? There's no pregame festivities there. The Giants are stale. It's not an experience, Lou. An experience would be saying hi to Chardol in front of the Willie Mays statue and then head into the ball game. That is the experience. There's nothing to do there, and I blame the San Francisco Giants. They had an opportunity to rally the crowd, if you will, get everybody fired up. You want to talk? They sure like to talk about Mission Rock Project. What did that add to the dynamic of a day at Oracle Park? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They make more money from
bland.
Mission than Oracle Park. They have money. But they're, they save it. As they say, a lot of times rich people are rich because they're cheap. They don't tip like people. But hey, the thing about the Giants too is, and we've talked about this before, they don't have a superstar. Their most popular, probably 3 players of all time have all died. Unfortunately, Willie Mays, McCovey, they look at something that happened 11 years ago. And, right now we have guys that are a little above average. And, they talk a good game. And you can't keep saying Oracle Park. Oracle Park's probably not the best ballpark. It's still in the top 3 or 5. But if it was the best ballpark, if you remember, the ballpark was so great, they went, 190 straight sellouts? The games aren't sold out now, except maybe on the weekends and certain players. I mean, it's just, one of the things. I mean, we all know what happens when the Dodgers come here on the weekend. 65% are all, it turns blue. So I think, it's one of those things.
Anonymous makes my point for me. What are you talking about? Glenn Dodger Stadium's in the middle of nowhere and is a rundown stadium. You have to drive there through bad neighborhoods. The Giants have infrastructure. Lou, Mission Rock. We've got
Giants can do more.
We've got infrastructure that all we'd have to do is develop the entertainment value, if you will, outside the ballpark. To your point, Anonymous, yes, Dodger Stadium, you can't do that. We can. All you can do at Dodger Stadium is, blow out, you get the little wavy things that car dealerships have, and you get the bouncy ball, room. But we have the there could be better restaurants, bars.
We could have
experience could be better. Your buddy down at the pizza shop, Lou, he must love it. Hey, I'm the only game in town. Come on down, visit me.
Yeah, we could have 5 types of momos. Right now, we have momos.
Let me get a couple of these super chats before we get out of here.
Yeah, go ahead.
JB says, "Bring me Pete."
That
ain't happening.
Eric, what position is Pete?
No, first base, DH. That's it.
What do we need Pete for?
Yeah, I know. Can't. That's.
And you're not going to get rid of Eldridge to get a Pete. I'm sorry.
Right. TBD. What's up? To be determined. What's up? Again, he had a fantastic comment earlier. Thank you for the $5. The Dodgers ownership wants to win more than the fan base. They know World Series rings equals increasing value on their investment. You're correct. Look, and Benji, I saw your comment too, talking about cheating. Yeah, I'm not saying that the Dodgers, I hope you don't think that's what I'm saying. The Dodgers aren't cheating. They're fully taking advantage of what is out there that they can do. I'm just saying they have that financial strength to go out there and get it done. And look, just because you make all this money, look at the Mets. They spend a shit ton of money. What happened? They didn't even get into the playoffs. It doesn't always equal success, but more times than not, if you're getting the best players, you're going to do something. And the Dodgers they've done it. And that's the problem. Even though the Dodgers won 2 World Series in a row, do you think they're going to rest on their laurels? Hell no, they're not. They're going to go out there and add, as they already did. They already added Edwin Diaz. They're probably going to add more. I wouldn't be surprised if they add a bat. So that's what they do because they want to win, and that's great. And that's what you want in an ownership. You want an ownership that goes out there and says, yes, I want to do whatever it takes to win.
Eric and Lou, it's Wednesday, December 10th, and I'm going on record now. Wednesday, December 10th, 7 minutes after midnight, Dodgers 3-peat. I'm calling it right now.
Already.
Eric.
Oh, what you got?
Eric, I just want to bring up a point because a lot of guys in the chat think the Dodgers are tripping. They're blowing, they're ruining baseball. But it's amazing. When the Warriors are overpaying, sometimes $300 million over the salary cap, which we don't have, they don't complain. You know, they love it when the Warriors are doing whatever it takes to get the ring, but when it's the Dodgers doing the exact same thing, it's a problem.
Hometown
you
prejudice.
Have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah, hometown prejudice there, Lou.
So.
Oh man. Well, hey, we got another one. Let's do predictions for tomorrow. You see any other big deals happening tomorrow, guys? I think tomorrow's really the last day, and everyone starts leaving on Thursday. Correct?
I do.
What you got? What's your prediction? What move happens tomorrow, Glenn?
A pitcher to the LA Dodgers tomorrow.
Okay, Lou, what do you got?
We'll be talking about tomorrow night. That's like, oh my God, they're going for it. Baltimore Orioles.
Ooh, what do you think they do?
I think they get a power hitter, and if they get who I think they're going to get, then they're going to pick up another. I think they might get two players, a pitcher and a power hitter.
Ooh,
and it's not the power. You're not thinking the power. The power hitter is leaving one team that you're going, oh my God, why is he leaving there to go there? A guy from the National League, a power hitter, is going to be going to the East. Because you got to remember, and the other thing too is all this is happening in the Yankees.
I know, I'm reading it.
The Yankees haven't made a move yet. So when somebody in your division makes a move, usually we get reaction. I also think Baltimore is getting probably since Diaz is gone, the number 2 closer is also going to be going there. So that's one of my hints. I mean, I'm telling you, I think Baltimore is going to go for it. They got money.
They do.
You know, so it's one of those things. It's how you're going to spend it. But the other thing too, Eric, is everyone talks about it. The Dodgers are getting the creme of la creme. So they might be spending $75 million on the best pitcher and the best reliever. Okay, that's fine because they're doing it. You're getting the creme of la creme for $75 million. Even if they don't do anything the rest of the year, they've had a great offseason. You know?
Yeah.
Why not?
Do you see anybody sticking after Schwarber signed with Philly, Eric? Do you think somebody like Bregman could just re-sign? Do you think they're going to be guys who don't move the needle and stick around where they're at?
I don't know if Bregman's going to stay. You know, tomorrow I think Alonso goes to Boston. I think he's going to be their DH or first baseman. I think Boston will go after him.
I'm leaning with Lou. I think that who he had up his short sleeves there. I think that it's going to be Pete Alonso having serious thought about going to Baltimore.
Yeah, maybe.
I think.
When we come on tomorrow night, 8:00, we'll do it all over again. I hope. And look, you know what we all know? What did we all say? Or what I should say, what did we all not say? That the Giants are doing anything tomorrow. And that's pretty damn sad.
You know it's bad.
Maybe we get surprised.
You know it's bad, Eric, when I get messages late into the wee hours of this morning, late last night, from Robbie Dizzle, who said, Eric, Lou, and Glenn, can't wait to see you opening day at Oracle Park, watching the Yankees hit dingers. Coming from Robbie. Coming from Robbie Dizzle.
Let's get the hell out of here. Lou, thanks for popping in again. Appreciate it. And,
always. Thank you, guys.
We'll do it again tomorrow night, 8:00. And don't forget, what's going on Friday, Glenn?
It's going on Friday. It's the 12 days of Christmas. I'm going to have my my green leotards on, my Santa hat, and I'm going to be decked out for the season. Well, maybe not. I'll show up, though, and we will start giving away entries for the 12 days of Christmas. And the grand prize, you want to let them know or just save it.
Save it.
Save it.
We'll save it. Big prize.
Big prize and bonus prize.
There you go. Like it.
And it's going to be a surprise Friday night.
Hey, you guys be good out there. Even you Dodger fans. Be safe out there. Be back tomorrow, 8:00. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.